Welcome back, you Scotch gaming lovers. This is episode 8. It's Sunday the 21st of October, and we are back to bring you the latest and greatest for the gaming news. Returning with us this week are our 4 hosts. Go through them one by one. First off, our lovely Chris Mayer, eating some noodles. What have you been up to this week? What have you been doing?
I've been doing a little raiding in the World of Warcraft. Got a US 5th kill of Elegon Heroic. Pretty sweet.
Congrats,
right
man.
now we're the number 7 guild in the US for 25-man raiding. We're also the number 1 guild in the world that raids 3 days. And this week we only actually raided 2 days. We're kicking ass, so that's pretty good. Playing some Magic the Gathering with my buddy Blake. A little card game, you know, bringing back some childhood memories.
Bringing it back.
Other than that, drinking some Scotch, drinking some beer, living life.
Excellent, excellent. Nick, you're back again. Hope you're ready for another fantastic show. What are you up to this week?
I am ready. Look at these hands. These are the shaky hands of a man with XCOM withdrawal. I almost didn't want to do the show today because I just want to be playing it right now. But I'm back, ready to talk some games.
Alright, excellent. Shannon Miller, ready for another show? Hope you've been slaying some nerds this week. What have you been up to?
Maybe I'm getting slain by nerds. Yeah, just been a bit lame lately.
Lately?
Always.
Always, yeah, nothing new.
Always been a little bit lame. Yeah, pretty much just doing that last couple of days. Went to a concert last night, saw Matchbox 20. Never seen it before, that was awesome. But yeah, other than that, playing games, man. I had some vodka the other day, that was weird.
Oh, nice.
What does that shit taste like, man?
I have no idea. I didn't know.
It looks like water. Shit.
Alright, and as you can probably notice, our dear friend Wilsey is not with us today. He is suffering from a severe case of Down syndrome. Not really.
Actually, he has a very severe case of pussy whipping.
You guys can just make up whatever disease you want for him, but he's fucked. So he's not going to be on this week. Instead, we have our loyal rager, Holic, Liam, Fistlord, Amory, whose webcam is stuck in the weird position right now. You might need to reset your webcam, mate, but while you're doing that, tell us what you've been up to this week. Are you angry? Are you sane? What's going on, mate?
For once, I'm angry, so that's... I've just been playing a lot of video games lately. I've been playing the hell out of Borderlands, so that's been good. And, not much really, been playing some XCOM.
Yeah? Sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Alright, we're going to move on to our first topic for the day. Camera's been being screwed because people are redoing their cams. Everyone's
I apologise, guys. For some reason, all the cameras just died at once.
Yeah, we'll fix that for you.
Sorry about that.
But
I blame Liam.
while we're doing that, we'll move on to our first topic. First details of Dragon Age 3 have come out. EA has said there's going to be a huge amount of customization in the game. A lot more than the first. Character customization, party customization, castle customization. They also mentioned that the level's going to be quite a lot larger. One level in Dragon Age 3 is apparently as big as all the levels in Dragon Age 2. Liam, I know you are actually quite into Dragon Age. You want to tell us anything about it?
Yeah, I was a really big fan of the first one. Then the second one was a bit of a letdown because of just the size of the world, but now knowing that Dragon Age 3 mission will be the size of the entire Dragon Age 2 universe is really good. I'm looking forward to that, and the customization part to it will be really interesting to go through. Just the fact that there'll be more customization to your characters, and there's castles as well.
Yeah, apparently there might be some castles happening.
That's a bit weird, but yeah. be interesting.
Anyone else got any thoughts on this?
I'm just
Yeah.
curious, how are they going to put castles into medieval fantasy?
It's
I know. What a
it's a puzzle.
Oh, how natural's that? Yeah, no, Dragon Age 1 was awesome. And number 2 was such a letdown. It was such a shitty little sandbox compared to the
was
game.
like
I don't,
It was like a gay expansion.
yeah,
Well-
it was. It was like a terrible expansion. So, yeah, it looks like number 3 is going to be amazing. I can't wait. I love BioWare.
Yeah, it seemed like they got forced, because it was around the same time they got brought into EA, wasn't it? And it seemed like they got forced a little bit to bring this out maybe earlier than they needed to. Because they made it in like under a year or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think they made you like run back and forth across the same patch of land like 100 times. It was just so... It just got so boring.
Did you
Yeah,
play
there
it?
wasn't a lot of thought into the design.
Yeah, it was pretty depressing. I can't wait to think that, you know, one level the entire map, like the size of the map. They've obviously listened to the fans and realised that that's where they went wrong the first time. Well, sorry, the second time around. Plus, I think the writers from the first one are doing the third one too. I think I heard.
Yeah.
Anyone else heard that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, that's exciting because the writing in the first one was top notch, and again the second one just wasn't very good at all.
That's one thing. You didn't like the writing in the second one? Because I actually thought the writing was really good in the second one. The writing, the combat was amazing. The only thing I didn't particularly like was the level design and stuff like that. I didn't mind the writing.
Yeah, I thought the story
story-
was a bit bland compared to the first one. The first one was pretty major, and most exciting thing that happened in the second one was like, you know, a couple of guest appearances of other characters from the first game. But beyond that, I don't know. I wasn't too interested in what happened in the second one.
Did you play it, Shannon?
No, I didn't know me with Gay. I did watch you play Dragon Age 1, and I really appreciate the style of RPG it was.
Shannon, your mic's screwing up a little bit. Apologise, you guys, for any problems we're having. My computer got a virus earlier this week, and I had to change around a lot of stuff, so that may be the problem. Or it could be just Shannon. Your camera's not working, neither's Chris's. Yeah, I should just fix that shit up for the people.
I'll just recall me, man. It hasn't worked.
Turn your sound off, guys.
You guys gonna get married soon or something?
Oh.
Yeah, is my mic a bit better now?
Yeah, man.
Yep, sounds
Yeah.
better.
Alright, cool.
Turn your
yeah, so I
Skype
never
off,
got-
though.
My Skype isn't on, man.
Chris's might be then.
Mine's off.
I never played Dragon Age, as I said before. I've watched you play the first one for most of its entirety, and I really appreciate the style of the RPG, like very classic style, old school PC style RPG. But yeah, I suppose it's kind of cool that they are deciding to.
Mate,
I'm just
you're cutting
curious.
in and out a little bit, mate. You're
I
cutting
think the characters. I think the characters in the first one were a lot more memorable than they were in the second one. Like, I mean, I can still remember, you know, Morrigan and stuff like that. I don't think I could name a single character from the second one, honestly.
So you only named Morrigan then. Is that because your character slept with her?
Maybe.
But
No, but she
some of
was
the characters
awesome.
in the second Dragon Age were good though. Like the Kulnari, the leader from the Kulnari was pretty good.
Yeah,
That
what
was an
his
interesting
name?
story.
What was his name again?
I don't know his name, but he was, I know the race. Did you know the race?
Was he the Arashok or something?
Yeah, the Arashok of the Kulnari.
Yeah. It was
That's
pretty
where
cool.
you got
but
stuck in the game, wasn't it?
yeah. See, that's another thing. See, in the second one, apparently there was some quest where if you didn't do it, it made it almost impossible to beat the Arashok in that particular level. And
I
because
did
I
it.
just happened to miss that freaking thing, and I couldn't even go back and do it. I was completely screwed. So, you know, Mr. Fistlord informed me that I was supposed to have done a certain thing earlier on, and that would have actually gotten me through it. But, I mean, that sucked. It ruined the whole game for me. Couldn't even finish it. So, I don't know.
Sorry, I told you how it ended. It was okay.
Yeah, but I don't think it was thought out as well as the first one. Yeah, it was okay. Awesome. Thanks, man.
Not a problem.
But yeah, no, I'm pretty excited. Number 3, they've had the time to work on it. I think it's going to be a really, really good game. At least I'm hopeful it's going to be a really good game. Better than the Rush job.
I think I almost did the same thing as you, Nick, in the first game. There was this one piece I had to get off some character in some forest or something, some enemies in some forest.
User disconnected.
And without that piece, you couldn't go past a certain point in the game, and you could only get off these characters. So I never picked it up, and then when I got to that point, I was like, fuck, I need this piece. So I was going back around that forest, like, levels later, searching for this item, and because I looked it up, I was like, it's like, you can't go past this piece unless you get this, and if you don't do it, you have to just reset your game. And I was like, oh my god, I run around the forest, I eventually found, there was one mob that I hadn't, that I killed, which I hadn't looted yet, and had the thing on it. And I was like, oh.
To me, that seems poor game design. Like, apparently I was supposed to help some pirate bitch in some bar, and she would have come to my aid when it was time to fight the arrow shock, and because I didn't help her, you know, she didn't come, and I went back to the bar looking for her, she wasn't there, so I mean, you know, it's like game-breaking shit right there as far as
You
I'm
stood her up,
concerned.
man, you stood her up, so she left.
Well, that is crap. I'm sorry, like, you know, you can't have the game completely broken just because I freaking, you know, glossed over something that I didn't realise was essential. I mean, shouldn't these things be pointed out? I don't know. I remain hopeful that number 3 is going to be amazing. That's all I got to say on Dragon Age.
I hope so. If it's not, I'll lose my shit.
Yeah,
And then that'll be the game I'm gonna fist.
Yeah, you can rage.
To another BioWare game, Mass Effect 4 is being confirmed, pretty much.
Woo!
But they did say that was Mass Effect 3 was the end of the Commander Shepard storyline, and they are sticking with it. There will be no Commander Shepard in Mass Effect 4. Who knows if there'll be any tie-ins with it, but I kind of hope not. I'm kind of done with Mass Effect. Do you agree, Nick?
I'm done with Shepard. Like, I loved Shepard. Shepard was a great character. Well, Shepard was whatever you made Shepard, but what stood out for me with Mass Effect was the universe itself, and any excuse to go back to that universe and explore it again, and you know, interact with those aliens that I've become so familiar with. I'll be all over that. Like, to me, Mass Effect's not about Shepard, so Shepard's done. That's fine with me. I just can't wait to get back and start exploring again.
Exactly. Mass Effect isn't about Commander Shepard. It's about Commander Fistlord. that was my character, but yeah, the Mass Effect 4 would be really good, or even a Mass Effect MMO. It suits it so well.
Yeah, actually, I agree with the Fist Lord for once. Yeah, that would be amazing.
You better agree, or you get fisted.
I know, that's why I'm agreeing.
But yeah, like it would just suit it. The way it's built, the way you fast travel in the game, it's dying for an MMO, I reckon. And it'd be stupid if BioWare didn't do it.
I think an MMO would be very Old Republic-ish, which is not... I mean, Mass Effect's always been a little bit Star Wars-y, considering, you know, they went from Knights of the Old Republic to, you know, building their own universe. It's always had that in common, but, I mean, that's not a bad thing. Like, I love what they've done with it, and they've kind of carved out their own path, but yeah, I'd imagine an MMO would be a very Old Republic, don't you reckon?
I think they've sort of learnt a little bit from Star Wars. I don't think it would be exactly the same. I think if they did, something, I think it would be more like, I don't know. I think they'll have to make it more first-person shooter, more like a PlanetSide sort of game than a traditional MMO.
You reckon? Because Mass Effects have been like sort of first-person. I don't know. I reckon it'd be too jarring.
You can make Mass Effect. Just think of like it as a secret world. It could work.
It could. I don't know.
Oh, well, you know what? This is all hypothetical anyway, because we're going off topic. Like, there's no MMO that we know of.
You just want
But Mass Effect 4, yes.
Mass Effect, yes. Any Mass Effect.
Any Mass Effect game's a good Mass Effect game.
Ballgame 1 would just like to know if, do you think if they could do it on a console though, if they needed to?
Do what on a console?
An MMO of Mass Effect on the console.
Well, DC Universe was really good. Me and Fifth Lord actually played that together, which I don't play a lot of MMOs, but that's one we actually got into on the PS3, and
It was a
I
good
just
game.
don't know what. Yeah, it was a good game. I don't know why there's not more MMOs on consoles. I mean, it's so easily done, and you know everybody's using the same tech. If anything, I reckon MMOs would run potentially better on console. They know what everybody's got, so you know you don't have to worry about not being up to spec, which is true. I've had a lot because I've got a pretty crummy laptop, and you know I have a lot of problems with games, you know, not running because I don't have this fucking graphics card, or you know I'm under this, or you know just all that crap. I'd love to see a lot more games on console, but a Mass Effect one would definitely I'd say it would have to be on Xbox, wouldn't it? I mean, yeah, it would be PC definitely, but don't you think they would have to do an Xbox version?
Probably, I'd say eventually. I'd say they probably would do one. But that's aside. Like, I'm going back to the Mass Effect 4 side of it. I don't know how excited I am for the continuing of the storyline. Like, I like the universe, but I sort of felt they were getting more and more into just the shooter side of it, not first person, but third person shooter side of it, and taking away from the more RPG elements of it when they went to the third one. That's why my favourite was the second. It sort of had the action part of it down pat, and the RPG side of it and the character side of it was a lot better, I believe.
Yeah, I actually
But
completely
there was more
agree with you.
RPG elements in the third one.
Not really, I wouldn't say.
I'm with
Oh,
Kurt
more
on
than
this
the
one.
second one. First one had the most.
Yeah, it was very, very RPG, but number 2 was the perfect balance of action
yeah.
and RPG. Like, I don't think they really topped it. Number 2 was the best. And the options were so, like, you had so many options where number 3 just didn't seem to have as many, which I think is what let a lot of people down. Not
Many
that
options.
I mean, I understand, like, as a conclusion, you had to pretty much take it somewhere, and there's only so many places you could take it, but number 2 just had the exploration and the possibilities down. You could end up anywhere in that game. Like, it was just amazing.
Anyway.
Like,
Yeah, I'll go on.
Alright, so just move on from that. Mass Effect 4 looks like it's coming. Pretty excited, I think we're all. Nick, I know you're now a number 1 fan of the Wii U in the world, pretty much. So we'll toss this one your way.
Alright, I'm a fan.
The developers say that the Wii U is one of the very easiest consoles to develop for. Do you think this will entice more third-party developers to develop for the console?
Hell yeah! Why wouldn't it? I mean, that's one of the biggest concerns of developers, isn't it? Learning a new system. Whenever a new console comes out, they have to sit there with their developer packs and try and work it out. That's a good move on Nintendo's part. Like, if they've obviously made a system that's easier for people to develop on, then potentially we'll see every big title that coming out on PS3, Xbox, and Wii U. Yeah, I mean, I'd be really worried if you know, Nintendo's putting so much into you know, telling the hardcore gamer this is also a hardcore machine now. You know, you are going to be able to get your big AAA titles, unlike you could with the Wii. So yeah, I mean, I think it'd be a very, very bad move for the Wii U to get released, and then all of a sudden AAA titles are coming out and they're not appearing on the Wii U. So clearly Nintendo's doing everything it can to make it as easy as it can for developers.
What do you think, Sean?
First off, is my mic better?
Yes, it's
Yes.
perfect, mate.
Alright, sweet. Yeah, so I think it was Vigil Games developer, guys that do Darksiders were the ones that made the comment. I think that definitely, like, if it is as easy as what he says to... Well, this is the thing though, he's talking about it from porting side, so maybe it might be quite different when you're actually developing from scratch, who knows, but I think that it would very much encourage third-party titles, definitely. You know, by hearing that they can easily bring their game over to the Wii, I wouldn't see why not, and especially with it being a brand new console, there's going to be a lot more hype on it than what there originally was on the, what there is now on the PS3 and on the Xbox, so... Yeah, I think that it'd be great for people to start jumping onto it, and hopefully we get some more big massive titles on there. Like, well, you've already pretty much got the biggest one this year, Call of Duty Black Ops on it. Like, that's a win for Wii U anyway. But let's hope that, you know, games like BioShock Infinite next year and Tomb Raider and stuff like that. Imagine Tomb Raider, like the new Tomb Raider game. That looks great anyway. So imagine that on a Wii U gamepad. So yeah, I think that's great.
From what I've heard,
you know what occurred?
Sorry, you
Oh,
go,
sorry,
mate.
Kurt. No, I was just thought about it. Like, it occurred to me that the biggest problem with the Wii, other than the fact that it was pretty underpowered compared to the other machines, was I think a lot of developers didn't know what to do with it. I mean, you had this, you know, this remote and this nunchuck, and you know, most of the time, you know, it was forced integration of the movement controls, or the developers were just like, what the hell are we supposed to do? Where with the Wii U, even a developer without much imagination will still be able to at least put their, you know, their inventory screen or their map screen onto the pad and stuff. It doesn't require a lot of out-of-the-box thinking, which I think would have been a problem with the Wii.
Yeah, it's very true. I know, like, most of Nintendo's consoles have always been quite easy to develop for, which I think really, that's why GameCube was quite big. I think they did really well, GameCube. But then Wii was just sort of underpowered. But Wii was still comparatively easy to develop for. But, you know, I think it's gone alright. I'm looking forward to it, seeing what we get with it. Any of you guys play DayZ? I'm unfortunate Wilsey's not here. He is our resident DayZ expert. But any of you play DayZ at all? Any of you know anything about DayZ?
Yeah, I've played a little bit.
Yeah, I play it.
Alright, did you get sick of playing in only one map?
Not
A little
really,
bit.
because I didn't get connected to too many times. So, yeah. What about you, Liam?
A little bit. Like, you'd never find the same place twice because you'd never know where you were going. But it'd be good. Now that they've brought out a new map, it's really good to explore it and figure out where to find all the new stuff and the new loot. It's just like a whole new game.
Yeah, well, the new map is a fan-made map made by one of the fans. It was made for the Arma.
Not bad.
It was made for Arma, of course, and then they ported it over to DayZ. So DayZ is getting a new map. So everyone who loves playing DayZ can explore some new shit. Hopefully, there's some more game modes on it. It's not really that huge news, but Sean's got his pineapple juice. Awesome. It's not really that big news, but I thought you guys might like to talk about it for a little bit, see what you think. It's going in the right direction. What do you reckon?
DayZ.
DayZ.
Yeah, it's definitely I love the concept of it. Like, it sounds amazing. I'd really love to play it. It's just such a shame that it's just pretty much only on PC, and you know, it's clearly not something I can get my hands on.
They are bringing out
build a
a
PC, Nick.
they're bringing out a console port of it though.
I need money to get a new PC, but yeah, if they're doing a console port, that's awesome. I'd totally jump on board. It sounds
they
like,
are apparently.
yeah, I mean, it's such a novel option, a zombie game, and it's so simple. Like, how's nobody done it before? Just give a big ass open map, let people, you know, run around and go crazy, and put in some betrayal. You know, the opportunity to actually backstab people and steal their shit. Like, that's
Awesome.
a recipe for a win for me. So I can't wait.
So now we're going to move on to another topic. I don't want any arguments like we had last week, and huge long discussions about it, but we'll get back into it a little bit. New research has shown that 85% of social gamers quit playing their social game after one day of playing. So Farmville, that sort of thing, they lose 85% of their players. Do you think, I mean, social games are still big, but do you think they can survive in the long run losing this many amount of players on the first day? Or do you think they're just that huge
Darren,
that doesn't matter?
Can I start ranting?
Yeah, you guys
About
should need a
casual
feature.
gamers and how they don't exist and rah, rah, rah. Okay, you know what? I won't get stuck into it too much. I'm just going to make my point really quick. 85% of social gamers may quit on the first day, but I think the sheer bulk of social gamers that are going on there probably still offsets the amount of hardcore gamers.
Yeah, you're probably right. Probably very right indeed. This also leads into the next one. EA's CEO says doesn't mean that social games are dead. He believes that they just need some more quality social games out there, and we need to stop having shit social games, in other words, that just require you to pay money to even just play the game properly. Do you guys think it'll evolve more in this direction, or just keep pretty much the same direction as it's going?
Who did this research, by the way? Where is this from?
I'm not entirely sure what company. It was some company.
Because, I mean, based off, like, just my Facebook feed alone, I don't really see a lot of people that started playing a lot of those social games quitting the day after. Like, you know, I constantly get spammed by social gamers like, hey, click my shit on Farmville, play this in Bubble Safari, or come save my dog in Treehouse Farm Happy Town or some shit.
Maybe your friends are part of the 15%. What can I say?
Yeah, except I don't know, I find the percent to be really, really low. I can't really see a lot of social gamers stopping playing after one day. That just doesn't seem very accurate to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. Like, if the 15%, I mean, judging by what we freaking see, then the 15, if that's the 15% that's doing it, then could you imagine how many freaking people are actually playing this freaking thing? If 85% of them are stopping and you've still got this many players, like, no wonder they're making nothing but fucking social games now.
Well,
It just must be huge business.
Well, you see how many people are on Facebook, yeah? Like, the amount of people on Facebook, and they'll probably all try it, like, play it once, one day, like, a new Facebook comes out. They'll try it once if one of their friends tells them to do it, and they'll just drop off, or they won't play anymore after that. So I can sort of see it being correct. I actually agree with what the EA CEO, that, like, these free games don't necessarily have to be, these shit type of games where you're always just like begging your friends to do something. Like, as you're saying, Chris, you're always getting fucking like little Facebook things going, please Chris, help me do this, please Chris, help me do this, help me do that. I don't think that's a good game strategy.
Here, let me add something though as well. See, part of the biggest reason that I see that being inaccurate, I think there's quite a few games that someone will try once, and then they won't play that one again. However, there's always that one game that a lot of social gamers do play on Facebook every day. Like, you know, they log in and play poker or some social game in that aspect. It's just, you know, I think a majority of them will try a lot of different ones and quit playing one after one day, but they will continue to play, you know, a different one continuously. Because I've definitely noticed that, you know, someone will spam me with invites for like a certain game, you know, for like 2 days in a row, and then they won't spam me with another invite for that one, but I will continue to get another invite from them with, you know, a different game that they had continued to play. I don't think a lot of that made sense.
Yeah,
but
I keep getting invites by Slot Mania.
Oh yeah, fucking Slot Mania.
So a lot of people just play one game.
Well, I actually
and they'll
thought it said
continue to play
Mania. I'm like, that sounds like a good game.
If it was Slut Mania, I'd probably play it.
Yeah,
Slot Mania.
I did too. Then I saw a Slot Mania. I'm like, nah, not interested.
Keep that for later on the show, mate. Come on now.
I think Chris hit it.
Sorry guys, I don't mean to cut in front, but Kurt, do you mind re-adding us this call? Everyone's mic's frozen on the webpage, man.
It's only you, man.
Oh no,
Yeah,
we're all...
I can see.
Sorry, well then can you re-add me?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, I think Chris hit it on the head with yeah, they might 85% of gamers might stop playing in the first day, but they'll definitely go and start playing something else. And it's just like hardcore gamers. I mean, we play games all the time. Toss one aside and go grab another one. You don't stop gaming, but you'd probably get the same kind of statistics on you know, AAA titles, maybe even.
Yeah.
Something worth looking to.
Exactly. We're gonna go on to the next topic. You guys played Witcher, I assume? It's a great game.
Oh, love Witcher.
Loved it.
Alright, CD Projekt Red, the developers of Witcher, they are making a new game called Cyberpunk 2077. It's sort of like it's like a cyberpunk-ish game set in the future. We don't know that much about it, apart from that's got like this, I wouldn't say steampunk, but cyberpunk look. I'm pretty sure it's an RPG as well, RPG-ish type of game. What do you guys think? You looking forward to this, just on what little we know already? And based on the reputation?
They could make Dog Shit Simulator, and I'd probably play it just based on the pedigree and how good Witcher was. Honestly, these guys they just took it to another level, and I just can't wait to see what they're going to do. Whatever they do, I will play it.
Yeah,
so you're one of those fanboys.
Yep. These guys?
It could be a risk.
These guys are Swedish, were they?
I think Swedish, yes.
Swedish, yeah, and they just put so much love and attention into The Witcher. Like, if it's the exact same team and nobody's messed with them, yeah, I look forward to playing anything they bring out. Does anyone else disagree? Agree?
I would agree, and especially in the cyberpunk genre, that should be a very enjoyable game. Games tend to be pretty entertaining and
does anyone
really interesting.
Know much about cyberpunk genre? Like, what other games have you liked that have been in that sort of genre?
I'm pretty sure Sick It was in that genre, was it not?
I don't even know what that game is.
No idea. I've never played a cyberpunk game. I have no idea what it is, but yeah, I mean, I'll still buy it day one and see what the hell it's all about.
What about you, Shannon? You play every single game at least once, and then play it for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
What are
I'm
you?
a sampler, mate. I'm like a box of like Cadbury favourites. I'll just have a sample here, test a game, play a game. But like the reason why I played The Witcher 2 was because I wanted something to test my brand new computer when I got it, and have something that would actually push it to its limit. And still to this day, I can't run, even though I've got two 580 GTXs, I can't run that game on full ultra with their uber scaling settings set on, so without it dropping down to like 20 frames a second. But I'll be interested to see what tech they come up with, like what their next iteration of the Red Tech engine is. So that's the CD Projekt Red Tech engine will be. That'll be kind of cool. That's probably what I'll be most looking forward to, is that next push in hardware, because The Witcher 2 still to this day, even though it's about a year and a half old now on PC, is still one of the best looking RPGs, if not one of the best looking games still on PC at the moment. So.
Oh, to date, man.
You know what horrible thought just occurred to me? This thing's going to come out on PC, and I'm not going to be able to play it. I'm probably going to have to wait like a year or something for a port of this freaking thing. So.
Yep.
So.
Very true.
Yep.
Damn it.
Let's get a PC, my friend. That's all. That's what we're just gonna keep on telling you every time we bring up these arguments.
You can't have a PC. You need a console guy. I'm your console guy. Either that, or let's do donations and get people to donate money to my new PC or something. You know, that's the only way it's going to happen.
Do a Kickstarter fund, Nick.
Yes. so Nick can play
Turn
games.
Nick into a PC gamer.
What I want to say though, Nick, is that by the time this game comes out, we'll probably be in the next generation of consoles. So I wouldn't actually be surprised if it's a concurrent release, given the fact that Witcher 2 was quite large. So
Nick,
I can hope.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, because I'll definitely be buying an S4 or the next Xbox or whatever comes out, regardless of my financial situations. I'll make it work somehow.
Yeah, alright.
So Nick, I know you're kind of a family guy too. Have you ever played Viva Pinata? Someone in chat wants to know.
Oh my god, I freaking love Pinata. I got it for my kids, and I'm like, this looks like, a good game for my, I think my daughter was like 4 years old at the time when it came out, and I'm like, she'll like this. Chuck it on, ended up playing it like more than her. I think I was like fighting it for the controller. It was nuts. It was so ridiculously addictive and great. The sequel wasn't as great, unfortunately, but yeah, I got fond memories of Viva Pinata. Amazing game.
You would definitely suggest someone, get in it for their kids to enjoy, and maybe even themselves.
All themselves, yeah. I mean,
But it would be a good game for kids.
Yeah, if I was going to suggest any game for an adult and a child to play together, any of the Lego games, especially Star Wars or Lego Batman 2, they're great games for like a parent and a child to play together. I've pretty much gone through all the Lego games with my kids, so that's my pick. But Viva Pinata, definitely a good game. It just doesn't really have any co-op elements, so that's a bit of a letdown. Otherwise, amazing game.
Alright, back to a little bit
Manhunt
more...
was a bit of a family game.
Manhunter, yeah, you would.
Liam, always being an idiot.
Don't get that one for your kids, please.
Don't do that.
Maybe Maybe if you live with a family from Hills Have Eyes, that's a family game, but that's probably about it.
Guys, go back to a little bit more Wii U news. It's been announced that voice chat will be supported by the Wii U, but it'll only be supported by a select few games. I don't think there is any official headset for the Wii U either, so I'm not exactly sure how it's going to completely work.
Could the Wii U possibly have a USB port for a headset?
I don't think it does. So I think
it has a USB headset.
Does it?
It would have to have a
it's-
couple of.
Sorry.
I think it was just
Doesn't
wireless.
everything have USB?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might do.
know.
I thought it was just going to be wireless from what it looks like. Wireless headsets, wireless, all that sort of stuff. But not all games are going to support it. So what does this mean? Because I feel like that's one good thing about Xbox is you have Xbox. You can chat over Xbox Live to pretty much anyone. Is this a bad thing, do you think, not having it supportive everything?
Yeah, it's
It
a bit of a... Sorry, Shannon, go, you take it.
I was about to say, I think it is a bad thing if they are wanting to hit that hardcore market. Like, those guys are going to be playing games like Call of Duty. So, for them not to have voice support, I would probably say that Call of Duty will be one of the ones that does have voice support, though. So, but I'm just using this as an example. But, you know, if there's another massive game out there that people are going to be playing on other consoles, but the Wii U version doesn't have voice support, they're not going to go for the Wii U version. And to me, I think that's what Nintendo was supposed to be going for, like by bringing in these third-party titles. Like, I think this is just going to push those people back out again. Yeah.
Well, I really hope Nintendo doesn't fuck up the online portion of this console, because I mean, online is a must these days, and if they get it wrong again, that could be like the nail in the coffin for the Wii U.
I kind of feel like, you know, at this point, they're not developing a voice chat for every game, whereas they're going to rely on the games that are being developed to have their own voice chat in them, but they'll support it through the console. So I think a lot of the games that players are going to want to have voice chat in will have it, simply because, you know, the game developers will say, well, we want this game to sell on Wii U as long as every other console, so let's make sure that we develop voice chat for this game. I think it's going to, you know, rely a lot on the game developers rather than the Wii U creators.
Very true. It probably will end up that way.
Yeah, you're probably right, actually.
Yeah, Wii U is just opening the door, saying, okay, you know, here's the option, we're going to make it available. If you guys want to develop a game that, you know, has voice support, then here you go, you know, we're going to make it work on our console. So I think that they're trying to get a lot more of the high-end games to develop a system for it so that, you know, they can start selling those games on that console.
It's a bit of a bummer that they're making extra work for the developer, though, like saying, you know, I mean, most games for the other consoles, it's just a given that it's going to have that, but basically they're saying, well, if you're going to make it on the Wii U, then you have to provide it. It's a little bit irritating from a developer standpoint.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a trade-off, though, with how easy it is to develop for, so...
Well, yeah, that's it.
I don't know. I think that it should still have it built in as an actual option within the console to be able to just have voice chat. Like, that's the cool, like Kurt was saying before, like with Xbox Live, that's the coolest thing about, one of the coolest things about Xbox Live is you can jump into a party with your friends, and even if you're not playing a game, and they are, you can still chat to them while they are playing that game. So you'll be in a different game, you know, you might be playing Battlefield, say, with some other guys, and then you got your mates playing Call of Duty or even Skyrim or something like that, and just to be able to chat to them because they're your friend is such a cool feature. Well, it's just like using TeamSpeak or something like that on a PC. Like, we don't actually have to have it tied into any sort of like gaming interface, but consoles are slightly different. But I think that that's a very missed opportunity if they really want to bring, because the Wii U is supposed to be all about this social aspect. Like, they're really trying to hit that social note. But I don't know, without voice chat support, where's the social from? Like, are they going to give free keyboards? I don't know.
You know,
I think that it's an important thing that they are missing out on, to be honest, especially with how everything's going.
They could possibly develop an application for it.
Yeah, no, that's true. But if they're already saying that they're not planning on doing voice support, then why would they come out? I don't know. Maybe they might one day.
Well,
I think
this might be
everyone...
Go ahead.
Sorry, Chris, go.
This might be a silly question, but I mean, the Wii U can support third-party applications, or can it not? I mean, it could definitely be something that could be developed by possibly not, you know, Nintendo, but
if it got developed by someone, it'd be a hacker. I don't think there'll be any.
Yeah.
I don't think you can have like a third-party app that's yeah like that.
Past experience.
Especially with Nintendo, they love to license everything.
Yeah, they're super protective about their hardware. They don't usually let anybody mess with it, at least not officially. Usually using that stuff would void your warranty with Nintendo straight away, so I doubt they're going to let anybody get their hands on it. But I think everybody can agree that it'd be better as a console, as a standard on the console rather than a game add-on. It's a bit of a missed opportunity. But, you know, it's not be a game changer, hopefully. Hopefully most of the games that come out will have it, so it won't even be an issue. But we'll have to wait and see.
Alright guys, I know you all love Battlefield, so we've got a bit of Battlefield news for you guys. Battlefield 3's expansion called Aftermath. I think, yeah, Aftermath. It's going to be set in Iran. It's going to include 3 new vehicles and a new deadly crossbow.
Fucking crossbows, yes please.
One of the big things it's going to be adding in as well is a new mode called Scavenger Mode. Sounds awfully like a lot of these DayZ top games that are coming out now. Basically, you get set in this zone with some shit weapons, and you have to scavenge around and find better weapons as you go through, and like search around, find shit, and get better stuff. So that's what's coming new in the Aftermath expansion. Liam, Chris, Shannon, I know you 3 play this game a lot, so whatever one of you guys wants to take it away.
Go for it, Chris.
Oh, I haven't actually checked out the expansion quite yet.
Alright, I'll start off then.
There you go.
Alright, so yeah, the fourth expansion for BF3. Coming to PC December 4th, I'm fairly certain, for premium customers, and a little bit earlier for PS3 customers. I think the coolest thing for me is the announcement of the crossbow.
Hell yeah.
I know that it's just a weapon and we're going to get new maps and vehicles, but I don't know, man, having a crossbow, chucking a 7x scope on it and running around with explosive rounds, that sounds fucking awesome.
Sick people with a crossbow.
Yeah, man, it's going to be sick. But one of the cool features that I have heard about the maps is, I'm fairly certain, I don't want to say I'm 100%, but there will be instances within the map where the map can change due to earthquakes. So the earthquakes will actually change the terrain and actually bring buildings down and stuff like that dynamically when you're playing the map, which sounds really, really cool, especially for online play. Like, that's like, you know, you could have like a whole team that's inside a building and then an earthquake to come through and just completely fuck them right up. But that could be pretty cool.
I could see a lot of rage.
Mode, yeah, exactly. The scavenger mode, I never really actually thought of it of being like a sort of DayZ-ish thing like you said, Kurt. I just thought of it more like a, just like you start off with like a basic weapon. You go around, you run around, you find a weapon on the ground. I don't think it's going to be it's not going to be open world, it's just going to be set on the same maps anyway.
I don't think it's going to be like that, but what I'm getting at is it's like scavenging for stuff, and like in DayZ you have to always go look around for stuff and all like that. I guess they're all just trying to cash in a little bit on it.
I have a feeling it's just going to end up like Halo, you know, there's a sword in a certain spot on the map, you fight to get the sword, you know, different map control points.
As well. Yeah.
You know, the rocket launchers up here, it's like snipers over there. You know, there's going to be different weapons located in different areas of the map.
It'd be more sort of like a classic FPS.
You'd think it'd be a bit more random though.
I think of it as more of like a more hardcore Gunmaster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
where
except
like
in Gunmaster you
everybody would
move
start
up
with the handgun or a knife.
Alright guys, now what do you have to say to the people that are like, come on guys, it's a military game, why the hell are there crossbows in a military game?
Because the military use crossbows.
Correct.
Special forces use crossbows.
Why do they use crossbows?
Because they're fucking silent.
Correct.
That's why. So yeah, there are military grade crossbows for sure, and they might not be as used as much as what they used to be, but they were definitely used 20, 30 years ago.
They're very effective.
They still get used nowadays, and it's just the same thing as like, why would you have a knife? Like, they're not as, you know, they're useful when you're wanting to like scavenge for things or whatever like that, but like, they're not as important as a gun in the end. But I don't know, just having crossbows I think is just a cool addition to the game. And I don't know if it's going to change up the gameplay too much, because seems to me there's just going to be like a low trajectory sniper rifle, like when you chuck a scope on it. But it'll be pretty cool. I'm really curious to see how they do go. I'm sure that me, Chris, and Liam will be playing it quite a bit.
Alright. We've also got some details out on Star Wars: The Old Republic and what the free players get. I'll just switch to the screen and give you a bit of an overview on what they get. So here's some of the features from the story content. What free-to-play players get. They get full access to the story content. They get limited access to character creation, limited access to operations, war zones, flashpoints, space missions. Pretty much fucking everything, as you can see here. I think you're limited to 3 flashpoints, 3 war zones, an operation, 3 space missions, and if you want more, you have to buy.
Is that altogether though?
What do you mean altogether?
Like you're only allowed 3 like war zones throughout your entire playing experience?
Per week, I think.
Okay.
What do you guys have to think about the way Bioware's gone with Star Wars: The Old Republic free to play?
I think obviously there's still going to be the subscription-based model for it as well at the same time, isn't there?
There is. The subscription, if you get a subscription, everything just becomes full access. You just play the same game pretty much as you're playing now.
I feel like that's not going to get them any more subscribers anyway. Those people are going to say, well, I can play the game for free, you know, I don't have to spend a lot of time in it, you know, do my 3 whatever
Well, the thing
war zones
is,
that I want to do, and then it's like I can play another MMO, and there's so many other MMOs out at this point. You know, and there's so many other games that are competing with it. For them to be doing that, I just don't see it as really being beneficial towards their subscriptions, if that's what they're trying to get.
well, the thing is, you're exactly right. Because when the people who want to play this game want to get access to the storyline, which is your character story from 1 to 50, which is full access for all free players. And then most people do that, and then they'll just probably stop playing. So
Except
really...
part of the leveling process is definitely doing the flashpoints that you can do while you're leveling. And if you
Not
have a
really.
huge limit, well, in any MMO, it's like you want to go in the flashpoints to get the best gear you can get from them. Like, oh yeah, let me jump in this one, you know, get this epic or blue piece, and you know, upgrade my character so it's more fun to go out in the questing world with a badass looking lightsaber or hilt or this cool looking armor. So if they really have a limit on, you know, flashpoints, it's definitely gonna.
Like, the thing is
cut
though,
from-
like, when I did play the game till 50, multiple characters. I didn't really do instances that much. It's not really part of leveling. When you're doing instances, because they're off planet, which is the thing. So that was kind of annoying.
That's true.
And
But I
it
mean,
was
it's like
way
nice.
more fun to just go and do your planet, do your storylines, missions. So I guess I think people this makes people want to buy the game, well, subscribe to the game or buy anything else.
I hate to admit it, but I mean, I love Star Wars and I actually loved that game. But does everybody agree that free-to-play seems like a sign of death for an MMO?
Yeah, it's like admitting
does
defeat.
Yeah, it's admitting defeat. No game ever comes back from free-to-play. I mean, look at WoW. It successfully had a subscription for so many years and it still hasn't stopped. And people are still forking over to play it. To me, it's just like, you know what? It's all over when you go free-to-play. It's not going to get them more fans. It's just going to go downhill.
Not necessarily. Like DC Universe had subscriptions, then after a year went down. Then it picked up another 600,000 subscribers when it went free to play. And
Where
it's
is it
going
now?
strong now.
Still going strong?
It's still going strong. It's getting weekly and monthly DLC. And it's bringing out new expansions. They're having arena tournaments around the world, everything. It's going really well since it's been free to play.
I was going to say before, like, with the whole being able to still subscribe as well as go free to play in the new mod that they are releasing, like, do you really think, and I don't think, but do you really think that people are going to want to pay for this game now that it has gone free anyway? Like you guys were saying before, you know, you want to play the story content and you're getting that for free anyway, but like, for the last 6 months in that game, 7 months, they haven't even brought out anything new for it. Like, what's the what is like EA hoping to do to the customers and say, hey, you know, we're gonna let you pay and you'll get all this stuff. Like, where the fuck's the content in that? Like, that's the only reason why you'd want to stick around, and that's the reason why no one did, is because they didn't bring out any content. This isn't going to make them bring out content any faster.
They did mention that they say that they're going to have a faster schedule to bring out
they
content.
said that as well back in April. You know that they said this.
Yeah.
They're like, every month there's going to be something new, and it never happened. And they have just gone to 1.4 after like 6 months. I don't think by them actually taking less money now, it's going to make them make anything faster.
Will they be taking less money? Do you think they'll be taking less money? Like, because people would have to pay. Say, like, you'll have a person that just wants to do PvP. They might just buy more PvP for this week. Or someone that wants to do just PvE. They might just buy more PvE. So you might have more people buying little installments of things.
Would you really want to do that, or would you just want to pay your $15 and just play it every month? Like, I don't know the pricing on everything. Does it have a price list?
Not yet.
No, but like, they're gonna have to make it super cheap for people wanting to do that. I don't know. Like, that's just me personally saying it. I loved the game. Like, me and you played it like hundreds of hours, and just like you, Kurt, I had a couple level 50s as well. I don't know.
I just wish this was a single-player game, because the story was so center stage in this thing, and I would love to have this fitting proudly in my game collection rather being some MMO that's just going to disappear. Like, the story's just so amazing in this game that it's such a shame.
But I don't think it would have been as good as a single player game. Like, you couldn't have had that many storylines going on concurrently in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I reckon what they could do is they could do what DC Universe did, and they could do a whole buyout price where you buy like the whole subscription together. Like, you know how you can pay monthly, like your $15 a month. You can do that. DC Universe did that. Then they did like the 3 months, the 9 months, and the 12 months. Then you could just pay for the game forever, which was, I think, $150. They could do that. That might work.
Hey, Liam, do you know what occurred to me? Do you think one of the reasons DC Universe is still doing so strongly, even though it's gone free to play, is the fact that it's the only MMO available on PS3 as well as PC?
That's a very
yeah, but
that's going to generate a lot of extra cash that normally the regular free-to-play MMO wouldn't get.
It could, but when it went free to play, the statistics showed that statistics. Who gives a fuck about statistics? But it showed that there was more PC players than PlayStation that actually did it. The PlayStation people still stuck around. It was when it went free to play, PC gamers were more interested in it.
That's bizarre, though. That makes no sense to me.
It's weird.
Think about it, Nick. Who generally are used to free-to-play games at the moment? Like, you don't see that many console people playing free-to-play games. They're used to buying a game for a set price and playing it. They're not used to the free-to-play model yet. They're not used to it.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, DC Universe is their only option on PS3.
Maybe that's why they subscribed and didn't go away from it, because it was their only MMO. See, if you, like, on PC, you had like 10, 15 different MMOs to go from when DC Universe was free to play. That's maybe why they got bored of the paying ones and tried that one out and liked it.
I don't know. I mean, it's bizarre to me that like people want to pay for MMOs and play them, but yeah, it just seems to me like, well, like Kurt, for example, he's a very big vocal about, you know, not playing free MMOs. It seems to me like the PC community is very much like that. They want to pay, and if you don't pay, it's a sign that this is not quality or something.
You'll find more the hardcore people think that way, but it's beginning to swing. A lot of people just want to play free-to-play games now. Like, you'll see LoL and everything. It's huge. People are wanting StarCraft 3 multiplayer to be free-to-play, which is probably good, but me, like, there are a lot of hardcore, like, us hardcore players don't really want it. I think. You probably have to ask Chris, because he's a hardcore player as well, but what do you reckon, Chris? Do you want to be playing free-to-play MMOs? Or would you rather continue playing, like, paying per month?
To be honest, I don't really have a preference either way, because it's not going to bother me if a game's free to play. Like, what effect does that really have on my gameplay as long as they continue to put out quality content? The one thing that I feel like, you know, with a lot of pay-to-play MMOs, there's more, they feel like they have almost like a contract to put out content.
An obligation.
Yeah. They
And
feel
that's
like they
why-
have an obligation to pump out content faster than they would be otherwise. So I feel like there's going to be more quality content like that. You know, for example, if you look at a game like World of Warcraft, part of the reason that it's stuck around for so long is purely the updates. And, you know, the game was created as one of the first of its kind. And it was probably, well, not probably, it was the best well done at the time. It's kept a lot of players because they've continued to try and evolve the game. However, they've let it fall behind in certain regards. You know, a lot of people don't like. However, the combat system is still fairly simple. You know, World of Warcraft is a fairly easy game to get started, but it still provides like a very hardcore aspect for those raiders that want to really push content and, like, you know, be really good players, because there's such a steep difference in what you can do and how far you can get in the game.
But I reckon Star Wars could still survive just based on the people wanting to play the story. Because that's the only reason I played Star Wars, was for the story. There'll be millions of, like, Star Wars fans that would play that game just for the stories, because there's 12 different stories in there.
Yeah, but once you finish the game, where's your story? It's like, sure, you can play a little bit further, but at a certain point it just turns into like a, you know, like a single-player Xbox game where you run out of story and then the game has nothing left for you, unless they continue to add stories on. But I mean, how
like an
relevant are the
expansion or
stories
something.
going to be, though? Are they going to be
'Cause
relevant,
Guild-
or are they going to be like, you know, some shitty story that has, you know, something half-assed in comparison to the rest of the game?
Yeah.
Because once you know, you put out a full-fledged game, it's like hard to develop a very, very good story that continues to bring the game further ahead.
Yeah, but Guild Wars did that, didn't it? Like, it released the game, even though it was free to play, then it produced 2 expansions that continued the story, and
But
that
look
went
how
really
many
well.
look how many people got bored of Guild Wars very quickly.
I don't know how many people were bored of it. So
Like, Guild Wars didn't have a very long life at all, and it still quickly from that game. It seems I have a lot of people that started playing it. They said no,
Shit.
not at all.
Guys, sorry, technical issue with Skype at the moment. Just settle down for 1 second. Yeah. Mute your Skype. Just settle down for 1 sec. Sorry, guys. Had some problems with people dropping out of calls there. Had to fix it. Sorry, guys. Alright, should be alright now. Almost.
Yeah, my prediction is that Star Wars is not going to bounce back from this, and it's not going to do as well as DC. I hate to
Oh,
say
no,
it,
it
but
won't.
I hope I'm wrong, but that's what I feel is going to happen. It's just going to disappear from now.
I
well,
agree.
before it finishes, I want to get my character level 50 and finish my story. That's my goal for Star Wars.
How are you going to
You know
do
what,
it though? You're shit at playing it, so no one's
Yeah,
going to
I
play it
need
with you.
someone's help with that.
I'll be more than happy with a book that tells me what the hell happens with the Emperor. Honestly, I'd be happy with that. Like, even if it doesn't end up in the game, as long as I find out what happens with his frickin' story, because I was right into it. That's about all I care about.
Alright.
The truth is, though, one last thing, Kurt, with that.
Alright.
If they really wanted to make a game that was based solely upon story and that was it, they could have made a fantastic, very, very large single-player game and continued to patch that. You know, I feel like if they were going to create an MMO and just quickly move it to a free-to-play game and then limit players and charge players to have another Flashpoint, that's like in the complete wrong direction that the gaming industry needs to be going in. You know, that's more or less catering to more casual players, like, oh hey, you can pay an extra $2 and do another Flashpoint. You know, that's moving towards more like Farmville style games, social games where, you know, you pay $3 and you get a fucking tractor or some shit to put on your farm. You know,
Star
that's
Wars
just not
tractors.
that's
Star Wars
not
tractors
the
would kick ass.
it's not the direction that the gaming industry needs to be going in at this point. So I feel like they're definitely doing something wrong, and I don't feel like they're doing anything good for their game or the gaming industry at this point in time with what they have.
Yeah, be less shit, gaming industry.
Alright, guys. Microsoft this week has hinted, or sort of hinted, at a different future for Xbox gaming. In one of its messages, they said, and I quote, they had a quote that was entertainment as a service in the for Xbox. That's open interpretation of what it actually means. Any guys got any opinions on what that statement could mean?
Xbox Live is going to be more expensive.
They've already increased the price on Xbox Live multiple
Well-
times, though. I feel like they're kind of at the end with that because they've gotten a lot of backlash from doing that. Simply because the PS3 network is free.
Doing
It's
heat
free.
setup.
You pay for internet, and your PC gaming network is free. It's like, I feel like Xbox Live increasing their rates would definitely get them even more backlash and lose them a lot of players on Xbox.
Alright, I've got a theory here, guys. Now, just stick with me. It could be totally out of the box. What if they went with something like the TV industry has, where all the games that come out, all the games that come out are free, everything's for free, but they rely on ads in their games. Like they have a few ads in the corner or something, ads all over the not all over the games, and not industries, but every time you like load up, every time you have a loading screen, there might be a different ad for a different company. And what if they made a TV like service?
Extremely
You think something
annoying.
like that could work?
No, I think that'd be extremely annoying. It would make me want to shut my fucking console off and throw it out the window.
I think it could be interesting. I mean, as long as it wasn't done, you know, just for the advertising, where you legitimately have a loading screen to have something come up, that's fine. But I mean, there'd be too much temptation to force loading screens to be like, hey guys, if you can chuck in a couple of extra loading screens, that'd be fucking pretty cool. Yeah, I reckon it'd be too much of a temptation, but it's an interesting idea.
It's like, how much does it bother you when you go to load a YouTube video and you gotta sit there and watch a 30-second advertisement? That is like annoying as fuck, and we're not paying for YouTube. We are buying games. We paid for our console, we paid for our games, we pay for our Xbox Live service. To then have to watch an advertisement after putting all this money into our gaming experience would almost destroy the gaming experience for me. It's like the load screens in my games are part of my immersion. They have interesting tooltips, they have pictures, there's a lot of art on them. It's like, you know, to have an advertisement midway through your game would completely take away from your gaming experience and take you out of the game. All of a sudden you're, you know, thinking about bouncing beach balls and tits on the beach because you have some ad for a girl running down the beach. It's like,
Hey,
sound bad.
that ad's not bad.
yeah,
What are the
that's
ads
just an
for? Beach
example.
balls or tits? I'm confused.
It's both.
Beach balls, but the tits get the attention, you know.
Wait.
But it could be that if they're going to do that, they could make Xbox Live free. They could scrap
what
the
I
whole
mean.
subscription. Yeah, and just make it the ads putting the money in. But that's really
Whoa.
stupid.
What
the
is
way I
it
see
worth,
is-
paying for it or sitting through ads? That's a tough one.
What I feel
Yeah,
like,
the way I
Make
see it
enough
is-
money though.
I'd be like, I just see it as like them going, entertainment as a service. Now pay $200 to get your monthly subscription.
It sounds like PR bullshit, honestly. Like, it's a load of crap. Like,
That's why I don't play Xbox Online, because I have to pay for it. I'm not paying to play online. Kiss
Yeah,
my
I
ass.
think that I think personally it's just going to be the next evolutionary step in Xbox Live's dashboard. Like you can already see that if you've done the latest update that it's including more and more advertisement as opposed to gaming related stuff. So like
Didn't
when
they
you do
advertise? Sorry, go on.
Sorry, yeah, when you actually start up Xbox Live, you'll come up with like the latest movies that are available. It'll be everything that isn't gaming basically on the first page. Like I think that Kurt's kind of on the right track. I don't think it's going to be all just product placement within the game, but I have a feeling that its online service is definitely going to be going that way. Possibly with even some sort of little addition of maybe free to play. It would kind of make sense.
oh, you know what would be great actually if they took it one step further and integrated the Kinect camera into this, where you basically had to buy the product in order to progress in the game. So like, you
Like
know,
Skylanders.
you need a can of Pepsi in order to proceed to the next level. Show the Pepsi to your Kinect camera.
Oh
There it
my
is, and then it
God.
lets you go. See, then they can force us to actually buy shit. It would be amazing.
But you wouldn't even go and buy a Pepsi can. You'd go to the trash and grab an empty one.
Whatever works.
you're a hacker, mate.
Yeah, you're
No,
a cheat. Damn cheat.
The Kinect
But,
camera, you know, judges the weight, volume of what's inside the can as well. It has an X-ray.
Maybe you
But
can have
with-
like they'll have Connect 2 where you have a spout and you actually have to like give it a sample of the product, like you pour some Pepsi in,
Oh,
fucking shove
That would
Okay.
take it too far.
Okay.
Hey,
I
if,
actually...
if Sony can make hot hold fucking controllers, why can't Microsoft make a Kinect that eats? Like,
Oh, what are you doing, mate? I
where's
gotta
all the
beat my
food gonna
Xbox
go?
real quick. It's getting a little hungry over here. It won't let me play my games.
Xbox already they're doing the advertisements, but weren't they advertising porn as well? Was that happening at one stage?
If they're advertising porn, I'm in.
You're
So what, weren't they doing that? They
Enough
had like
said.
an advertisement for a porn website and they had to take it down.
Uh,
I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere.
Who did this? Microsoft.
I know it's...
Yeah, on like Xbox Live, there's like a little, you know, like the apps and everything, like the boxes. There's a box, I think, for YouPorn on there that you could click on. It would take you to an app for YouPorn, and you could just watch anything. It didn't have like
It's a special
child
app.
protection or
Download
anything on
for
it.
yourself.
Liam, you know awfully too much about this subject.
What's
Hey,
porn?
it was on Kotaku.
Just joking.
alright?
Alright guys, for our next topic, we're gonna, if any little kids maybe are watching this or listen to it, parents, make them skip forward like 10 minutes, because next topic is going to be a little bit sexual.
Ooh,
that's-
baby.
So, be
Ooh,
ready.
yeah.
Alright, next January, a Taiwanese company called Love House will be releasing a long-distance couples sex app, plus they'll be selling the devices for it. Now what it is, it's for males, it's like a fleshlight. I assume you guys know what a fleshlight is. And for,
What's a flashlight?
for females...
Is this really hard for you to describe?
Sorry?
Is this like a bit awkward for you to describe?
No, not really. And for the and for the girls, it's sort of like a dildo with I guess like a piston thing that goes in and out at the end. Alright, you probably can't see it, but I'm using that on cam. And what happens is you connect up with the app, and the guy and the girl use these applications, and when the guy uses his, it transfers to hers. And so couples can have sex during all over the long distance from one side of the world to the other. Only reason I bring this up is because it possibly the future of the games could be like this, and plus it's app related. What do you guys any thoughts on this? I know Nick. What about you?
I can see Liam using this on himself. That's all I can say.
The
with
future of
both-
gaming is
both
going to be
apps
sex toys?
and 2 phones.
He'll
And just-
actually
yeah.
construct some weird time machine where he can put his ass out one side and put his head out the other.
Hey,
Oh god.
it's already been invented. It's called the portal gun.
And no, but what I was saying
It'd be
is,
pretty useful for Chris Mayer.
yeah.
But wait, the future of gaming is sex toys. Is that what they're implying?
Wait,
No, not the future saying, but there might like virtual reality, mate. Come on, you know some people are probably gonna use it for that. Could be part of it.
I can see. Okay, so you know the like call sex hotlines or whatever. I could see this developing to a call game sex hotline. Where you can call
Make sure
up
you
some
wear
random
protection
girl.
for that.
You can find call some random girl, and chat with her on your game console and have sex with her via your game console. And I think that's kind of a strange concept.
Why would you even think of that?
Because
people do.
it's definitely something that I could see, being
You
brought about with
inventing?
this. No, people want to make money in any way that they can, and it'd be a good opportunity for people that sell that kind of thing to make money via that way. I could definitely see
I'm
that
pretty
happening.
sure that the people that invented this watched an episode of The Big Bang Theory. They did this in Big Bang Theory, so
Oh, did they?
yeah.
I don't know. It seems like for couples, it'll probably be a good thing. I'd say the app thing is pretty much why I brought it up in the first place, because now the app technology has gotten this far, it can enable us to do things like this. That's the only reason I brought it up. So
can I just add one
Yeah.
last thing? I think this is the end of the human race as we know.
when
When we all start cyber boning each other and not getting together to do it anymore, when you don't even have to leave the comfort of your lounge to go and bone your missus because
Yeah.
you can just cyber wrap it in the other room. End of the human race, people.
But
Nice
this is
knowing
the prophecy,
you.
is it?
Good
The
night.
prophecy of 2012.
Nick,
It's
I,
all over.
I know you laugh now, but the year down the track, Nick's gonna be first in line to buy one of these devices.
So you've heard it here first, guys. Make sure your missus has a smartphone.
Yep.
He's
Otherwise,
not
you
telling
won't
us
use
this.
it.
He already tried this out when he was at the convention the other
Nick,
week.
Next week, our impressions on it.
Nick was in part of the beta
Try to keep
testing.
that one quiet.
Beta testing.
I
Nick tried
signed
out
an
both
app
ends of
David
it
that
as
I wouldn't
well.
talk about it.
Oh
Sorry.
my God, Chris.
Alright guys, little kids can turn back on again. We're gonna stop talking about that.
But I don't think there's any little kids that watch this anyway.
No, there might be. I don't know who's watching. We're gonna move on to the impressions of a game this week. The new Doom 3 was BFG edition, what it's called. came out this week. I know Liam played a little bit. Just give your impressions quickly, guys.
I'll go first, I guess. I started playing it today, and I had never played Doom 3 before because I didn't have an original Xbox, so the first time for this. Graphics on it look
There's
okay.
still a first time left, mate. Don't worry.
Hey, you shut up, dickhead.
First time for everything, man.
Well, I'm an idiot. But yeah, the graphics on it, they're decent, but you can tell they're dated. Then
It's
Great
Doom, what do you
success.
expect, man?
yeah.
At least someone's getting dated.
I'm just gonna stop talking.
Sorry.
It's okay.
No, sorry. Oh, shut up.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I really haven't played it before, so it's not as scary as what I thought it would be, but the actual graphics overhaul and everything is pretty cool from what it was compared to.
Yeah, I agree. I played the original on PC and I finished it years and years ago. And it's cool to see it being remade again for a new audience. It is only a 7-year-old game, but you know, 7 years ago for like most 15-year-olds, you know, that's, you know, they're all, what does that make them, like 5 or something? No, that's wrong. It's 10 years.
Way to do
8.
math.
It would make them 8 years old. Sorry. Yeah, maths fail. You know,
We
so
have 10,
there's a lot of
5,
kids. There's a lot of
7,
kids that have never even
8.
played Doom 3, let alone playing the originals. And this also comes with the original Doom 1 and 2. I played only Doom 3 on it. It looks better, but it's still very dated. Like you can tell that it was made 7 years ago. It's lost a lot of its scare potential now because I've already know what's happened, and games have come a long way since then, and how to scare people as well.
I played the first, like the original two Doom games on that as well. They're just the same. There's no difference in it. They're just direct ports.
I just want to say, look, I haven't played Doom 3. I was an avid fan of 1 and 2, and I'll buy this on the fact that it just has Doom 1 and 2 on it alone, let alone number 3. Just for nostalgia value alone, I spent so many hours of my youth ploughing through Doom 1 and 2. I just want them in my current gen collection.
They're pretty cool to use it with a controller.
Yeah, I'll buy it on that alone, like, and yeah, beyond that, even if Doom 3 is not good, which I can't judge because I haven't played it.
Don't get me wrong, man. It's a fantastic game. It's just, to me now, it is very dated, and like I played it for, I know this isn't going to sound like anything different to what I usually do, but I played it for like half an hour, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but you know, to me, it's the same game that I did play 7 years ago. There is no other difference apart from slightly upgraded graphics. But for people that haven't played, I'd definitely recommend it. Like, you know, it was revolutionary at its time. Like, it came out in 2003, and when you look at these graphics, yeah, they might not look good today, but they still look damn good, you know, for a game that is that old. So yeah, definitely check it out. No doubt. And to play the original Doom 1 and 2, like, if no one's ever played them, those games are awesome.
That's my childhood right there.
Alright, guys. Alright, so that's our news topics and our impressions done for the week. We're going to move on to our new competition. Our last competition was a Fast and Light competition. We did give away 2 copies, and hopefully the people who won it are enjoying them and having fun with the game. We're going to pass it on to Shannon Miller, aka Sideswipe. He's our competition expert, and he's going to tell you what's up with this competition and what you have to do.
Alrighty, so over the last few days we started up a brand new comp. Basically what we did was grab the top 5 selling games on Steam this past week. So as you can imagine, there's some pretty awesome games in there, and we chucked a poll up onto our Scotch Gaming Facebook, which we'll give links to at the end.
What were the games again, Shannon?
I'm going to go through them. Thank you for asking, Mr. Kerbis. So the games that were top 5 were Dishonored. We've talked about that one. It's an awesome game.
Yeah.
Chivalry, brand new game that just came out. It's basically like a first-person FPS medieval style. So it's using swords and stuff like that, but it's like massively multiplayer online.
Good game.
Then we've got XCOM. Once again, another game that we've been talking about a lot. Next, we had Football Manager 2013. I know. Hey, it sold a lot. We got it. Maybe someone wants it somewhere.
I want to manage
Maybe
football
some
team.
football. And,
Are we talking American football or real football?
And the last game, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which is obviously Counter-Strike's massive game. But after the last few days, we have come to our #1 voted game, and that one was Dishonored. So, close second was XCOM. So basically the way that it's going to go, guys, is we're going to be giving away a free copy of Dishonored on Steam. So there will be a couple of little things that you guys must do to enter this comp. It's open to everyone that's first off liked our Facebook page, which you can jump onto www.facebook.com/Scotch Gaming Podcast. Chuck a like on the page. Second thing that we want you guys to do is I'll make a post after this video, after this live stream, and it'll basically be a post where you can share. And if you share it, that gets you an entry into the comp. And if you share it with the subject Scotch, let's say Scotch, because we like to drink Scotch here.
Make it something that's not as obvious.
All right, spiders.
Okay, there we go.
All right.
No,
So you share it and you say spiders, not Scotch. That'll get you 2 entries. And we will run it for how long, Kurt?
2 weeks.
This one's going to be a bit, 2 weeks. So this one's going to be a little bit longer than our last one, just because it's a full-priced retail game. And yeah, then once the 2 weeks is up, we'll pick the winner. It's going to be random, and hope that we get lots of entrants. So we have a nice full competition.
Excellent. So that's pretty much it for the week. We'll just do shoutouts now. We'll go to Chris Mayer. Shoutouts for the week.
Shout out to Defenestrate, BlackRock. Can you get those top US skills?
Yeah.
Son.
Whoop whoop.
All right, Liam, mate, give us your shoutouts.
Shout out to my band, My Favorite Episode. Give us a like on Facebook. Check it out.
Yeah, what's the Facebook link, mate? Tell them the Facebook link.
www.facebook.com/myfavoriteepisode.
Do you guys have a Twitter at all?
I believe we do.
Yeah, it's
I'm not 100% sure.
MFE Band, at MFE Band.
Why don't you type it out in Twitch for everyone, Shannon?
Yeah, that's a good idea, isn't it?
And
So I try to help you out, guys.
catch you later.
All right, Nick.
Come talk to me, guys, at Nick Gabs Comics on Facebook. Remember, that's with an X on the end, not CS. And keep reading Game Guy. That's about it for me. Thanks, guys.
And
Catch us next time.
Sideswipe, aka Shannon Miller.
Yeah, pretty much same sort of shoutouts as Liam. We're obviously in the same band, My Favorite Episode. I am just putting the links into the chat, so you guys can take a look. What else? If you guys want to play, because I've been doing it a lot, some BF3 with us guys, just add me on Origin. My Battlefield name is M_SS_NG, or think missing without the eyes, because that's what it is. Other than that, yeah, that's it.
Alright, guys, and as for me, shout out to Roadrunners from Kill Jaden, my guild. What else? Scotch Gaming at hotmail.com. Got any questions? Email them to there. If you email them, we'll answer them on the show. Pretty much that simple. You can also find us on Twitter on @ScotchGaming. And as always, probably not for the guys on live stream, but anyone who watches on my podcast and videos, you can go to www.twitch.tv/Krazak. We live stream this show every Sunday night at 7 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. Also sometimes I do some other streaming, so always come do that. Make sure you join the competition, guys. Dishonored's an amazing game. Come get yourself a free, try and win yourself a free copy. And that's pretty much it for the week. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll see you here next Sunday. Peace out.
Oh, a bit freaky.
And we're out, guys. See you later for the